Hello everyone, I'm Jane Long from Calm Therapy and welcome to Conversations with Calm Therapy. Firstly, I hope you are all well and healthy during this pandemic of the coronavirus. So to explain about Conversations with Calm Therapy, it's a project where I interview a series of complementary therapists and business owners during the COVID-19 pandemic. This is to create connection amongst business owners, keeping us social. It also offers you, the viewer, tips on how to cope with these sudden changes, how to release fear that arises with uncertainty, and perhaps how to learn how to release fear from your body to help you to move forward. And also, I'll be asking each guest about any useful rituals or activities that we can add to our daily routines whilst we are in lockdown. So my guest today is Lesley Marsh. Lesley is a shamanic healer, storyteller, and a professional speaker. So hello, Lesley, and welcome to Conversation.
Hello, everybody. It's great to be here.
Could you please introduce yourself? Could you just give a brief background about where you come from, perhaps, and the work that you're doing now?
Well, my background is long and varied, like the long and winding road, but I started off as a zookeeper at the age of 11, then went to veterinary nursing, and then Spirit sent me a Rottweiler at 2 o'clock in the morning to convince me that my job lay in another place. So basically, I did my formal training, because I've been doing shamanic work for a long time before knowing what it was, in Glastonbury from 2003. And basically, I consider myself still in training, because when we stop learning, we stop moving. So that's me in a nutshell, really. I do a lot of work with people who are dealing with mindset issues, but we also have the spiritual side, where we deal with soul retrieval, with empowerment. Particularly now, empowerment is very, very, very useful. And lots of other things, so many, innumerable to count. So basically, that's what I do.
Thank you, Lesley. So I ask each of my guests the same set questions, the same 3 questions, and I am hoping each guest answers from their areas of expertise. So this is my first question to you, Lesley. We are going through unprecedented times of sudden change. How might we maintain a positive outlook and a feeling of connection whilst in this period of isolation?
I think basically what we have to remember is that we have an unlimited ability to adapt. We've forgotten to remember that, and it's time to remember to forget that we are in this situation to a certain extent. There are so many things that our minds can do that are positive, and we have to look and focus in that direction instead of constantly feeding and digesting the bad news bears. We have to look for the good news bears. And I'm not saying that we should ignore everything and pretend that it's not there, but I'm saying that we should bring balance back. Find your balance point and be balanced now, because no matter what your religion is, what your belief is, we understand that energetically what we're doing when we look at the bad stuff is we're wearing it like a coat. It's actually coming into us. And you can do this as an exercise yourself. You can think of a time when you were really, really, really happy, when something wonderful happened. And if you don't have one to hand, then imagine what it would be like to be that way. And feel how you feel it. Feel where you feel it. Identify that. And actually, I'm going to tell you a little secret. Your brain doesn't make any difference between a memory and a dream or a thought. So you can make this a memory, and you can revisit that feeling again and again, because we actually revisit the bad stuff more than we do the good stuff. And I think that now, particularly now, we're going to be having to do a little bit of self-love and self-care. And I will give you an exercise for that later.
Thank you, Lesley. That's really, really good, really great point there. So the second question, It's known that fear can have a negative impact on the body. How might people release themselves from this fear to reduce physical and mental health issues in the long term?
It's all got to do with your mindset. Definitely. Your mindset is actually part of your spiritual makeup. Everything is connected. And at the moment, what we're doing is we're finding that we have been disconnected for such a long time, because now we're in this isolated state. We're actually having to flail around looking for something to be connected to, when actually we can reconnect with ourselves, because we as a person goes beyond the body, the physical. We are mental, emotional, and spiritual human beings. We have all of this to our fingertips. And it's one of those things that when we remember that, we remember that we are really, really powerful. Each one of us carries a great deal of power within us. And it's how, again, we focus that, because it's like electricity. Electricity isn't a being of its own devising to a certain extent. It's an entity, yes, it's an energy, but we are the one who turns the switch on. We're the ones who turns the switch off. And it can be used, as we know, to kill, or it can be used to actually revive and bring people back. So energy is all that way. It's not about the energy itself. It's about how you put it and focus it and use it. So use your energy wisely, and you'll have my details at the end, and I will go through that with people at any time, because we don't have a lot of time to do it here.
Great, thank you, Lesley. So my last question to you, based on your experiences, can you suggest any useful rituals or activities that we can add to our daily routines during this new way of life while we're indoors?
Yeah, definitely. And it's so easy. Affirmations. You know, what we say, we're listening to. As a storyteller, I know that when we're telling our story, and we are all storytellers because we are telling our stories to everyone every day, on the phone now, on Zoom, on Skype, anywhere that we're communicating with other people, we are telling our story, but we're also listening to it. So when we're saying, oh, it's so bad, and so this, and that, and this is what's happening, you're actually starting to embody that energy, and this is how you're going. However, if you say, do you know what? This is amazing. I found this thing on YouTube. I saw this. There's something that we can do. I can do this. And then you find your affirmations. I have some great stuff that it sits by my desk that I can actually see anytime I'm casting around for ideas to write. I look up and say, big ideas are preceded by big thinking. Or dare to believe the whispers in your ears that someday you might change the world. Because people think that they have no immediate reaction or action that they can make to change things. Actually, the smile is one of the best social innovators that there is. And it's infectious, because when we smile at someone, unless they're a complete curmudgeon and totally not in the space, they're going to smile back. You know, and let's face it, when they're a complete curmudgeon, they're happy being miserable, you know, because it serves them. And this is what we have to realize. What serves us is going to do us good. So in the morning, I have ginger and lemon tea, which actually is very good for keeping your immune system up. And when I'm stirring my honey in, I make the affirmations. I am healthy, I am wealthy, I am wise, I have good health, I have good space, I am grateful to the energies around me, I'm grateful to the universe. And I also keep a journal. And it doesn't have to be, it can be online, it can be anything that you want it to be. And it's just for you. You pour your thoughts into it, and that gets it out of inside here. And you can also look back at it and think, really, did I feel like that then? Because you'll understand that things change. But also there's so many other things that you can do. Stop listening to the bad news. Stop looking at your phone to see if anything's changed. It's not going to change like that, because it didn't happen like that. We are aware that we actually react to the kind of information that is being fed to us on that box. If you take yourself back and think about in the 30s, I think it was, when Orson Welles did War of the World, there was only a radio in the house at that time, if you were lucky. And it was at a time of great unrest and paranoia due to the communism in America being a big thing. And there was basically what you call a witch hunt going on. And it started then. But Orson Welles did this thing where he made this story a news item. He built it as a news item. And he did it in such a way that it was almost like they were hearing the news live, the way that we do today. And to be perfectly honest with you, we don't need 24-hour news because there is nothing new every 5 minutes. There really isn't. They're just regurgitating the same stuff. And this put people into a panic because at that time they thought the world was ending. People did things that they would never normally do. And when they realized that they'd been hoodwinked, they went through the stages of grief, but they stopped at anger, mainly because they had been made to be afraid. And that could have actually killed this man's career. We know it didn't, but it put a dent in it for sure. So remember that box in the corner and the phone in your hand, the iPad, the form that we have for information goes both ways. And when you come, it's like a caterpillar. It chews and chews and chews and chews, and it chooses the food that will make it turn into a butterfly.
Yes.
And sometimes, though, they don't choose the right food and they end up stuck in the cocoon. So please, get out of the cocoon, spread your wings, and become the butterfly.
Brilliant.
Adapt.
Very good, Lesley. Thank you very much for that. That's brilliant. Thank you for your answers. I could sit and listen to you every day, all day. You're a brilliant storyteller, and you've obviously got lots to tell. So how can we find out more about you, and how can we get in touch with you, maybe for some more support?
Well, yeah, I'm open to anybody calling me. My phone number is 07968 643 552. And please remember the time differences if you're calling from anywhere that's apart from London time, because I do go to bed sometimes. If I don't answer the phone, it's because it's on charge, because it gets a lot of work. And also there's Skype, which is capital S, spiralheart.uk. Then there is the website, www.spiralheart.co.uk. I have a blog, www.spiralheartscotland.com. And through any of these, you will be able to find out how to get a hold of me. info@spiralheart is the email, .co.uk. And basically, if you're worried about anything, you want to have a good idea, and I'm going to tell you right now, go onto YouTube and find Intrepid Jane and look at her 365 days of adventure. This woman is an inspiration because she made people realize that adventure doesn't mean climbing up Mount Kilimanjaro, that there are things that you can do to break through your comfort zone every day. And in doing that, that will keep you occupied. You could learn to speak Eskimo. You could make a haiku, and you can make a haiku that becomes a renku, and that goes absolutely around all your friends. So you can involve everybody in it, in your family, even the kids.
Brilliant, Lesley. Thank you very much, and thank you for taking part in this project today. I'll be posting this video to my YouTube channel, and so viewers, please subscribe to my channel so you don't miss out on the latest videos that I'm posting. And yes, you can listen to everything Lesley has to say. Okay, so thank you, Lesley, very much.
Be well, be blessed, be loved.